yeah, 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 yeah. And I heard him say, nothing's ever promised tomorrow today. From the shot, like Tim, it's a harder way. So this is in the name of love, like Robert say. Before you ask me to go get a job today, can I at least get a raise on the minimum wage? And I know the government administer AIDS, so I guess we just pray like the minister say. Alu Akbar and throwing some hot cars. The things we seen on the screen, it's not ours. But these from the hood, so these dreams not far. Where I'm from, the dope boys is the rock stars, but they can't cop cars without seeing cop cars. I guess they want us all behind bars. I know it. Nothing's ever promised tomorrow today. And I heard them say, nothing's ever promised tomorrow today. But we'll find a way.
Nothing lasts forever, but be honest, babe.
Hey, welcome back to Cairo Philosophy Mixtape. This is your host, Dr. James Hopkins, aka Doc Hops, and welcome back to my channel. And so, I hope everybody had happy holidays and are bringing in the new year, being blessed and in high spirits. A lot has already happened this year, but you know what? We're gonna be all right, right? And so, on our last series, we talked about chronic illness and complex cases, right? And so for this new series, I just wanted to balance it out. So we're going to the streets. We're going to the streets, son. Yes, we're gonna talk about chiropractic outreach, and not only just about chiropractic outreach, but different approaches to outreach. And we're gonna focus on addressing the unhoused community, aka the homeless, the houseless. That's what the focuses will be, as I am profiling two chiropractors that have made content about them doing outreach to the unhoused community. And so that's what the subject will be, and I'm calling it Street Chiropractic Adjusting the Unhoused. Dr. Zev versus Dr. Jason are the names of the chiropractors who I am profiling, and they're both based out of Florida, South Florida. And so, yeah, enjoy the ride. But before we get into the series, I just want to talk about, and so first I just want to talk about, what we already do in chiropractic as far as outreach. And so we do a lot of mission trips in chiropractic, where, we go to outside of the U.S. to serve the underserved communities of, the Caribbean, such as like Jamaica or Haiti or the Dominican Republic, or in Latin America, in Chile, Brazil, Colombia, Guatemala, you name it, which is good. I'm glad that chiropractic does that and continues to do mission trips such as that. And we have organizations that run these mission trips, like Christian Chiropractic Association, Cairo Mission, or like the chiropractic schools have some as well, like Life West has Life West India Missions. And so yeah, those are out there, and but as far as like the mission trip style outreach, I feel like we should do more of that in our own backyard. Like I feel like we should be more, in the hood. Like let's get to our peoples in the inner cities and these urban areas that are under resourced and don't have real access to healthcare or you know uh, food and all that stuff. I feel like we could do more in that aspect, and so that brings me to um, I know a lot of chiropractic offices do do their own outreach, such as with donations and food drives, and collaborating with other nonprofits and charities, which is good. And I hope we're still able to do those things. But like I said, I feel like you know we're hurting right here in the U.S. and um, as much as we're doing outside of the U.S., we could be doing a lot more within it. Uh, and that brings me to working in a mission, local mission uh, capacity. Before chiropractic school, I served in the AmeriCorps National Health Corps program in 2017 in Jacksonville, Florida, where Jacksonville had a thing called Medical Mission at Home that they did at the Prime Osborne Convention Center, where they would serve the underserved community, which included the unhoused, right? And so we got to help volunteer with that event in 2017, and they provided medical care testing to families, vision and hearing screenings, foot screenings, skin cancer screenings, behavioral health, spiritual care, diabetes education, free food, and resident resources through the city of Jax. And so it was a great event to help volunteer at, where we got to help facilitate and guide um, people into getting access to these healthcare services at this event, and it was very fulfilling and helped out a lot of people. And we also got to sit in with the doctors, nurses, and healthcare professionals providing this care in their meetings about the protocols of how things are supposed to run during the event. I think it was mostly St. Vincent Hospital that was leading it, and so yeah, I definitely learned a lot. And so when I think of chiropractic mission trips, I feel like we could be doing we could definitely be part of something like the medical mission at home that Jacksonville, Florida does. I don't know when the next one is this year, but I believe they still do it, and it's a great thing. And I feel like chiropractic could definitely be a part of something like that, if it hasn't already in other cities. But yeah, that's what I wanted to touch on with that. And I also got to volunteer with my cohort that I served under at the Florida Department of Health of Duval, where we got to serve the unhoused community in downtown Jacksonville, giving out toiletries and care packages to the unhoused, and for that day. And they were just so appreciative and happy that we were out there, providing them that service. And that was like one of my first real experiences serving the unhoused community, um, along with soup kitchen, volunteering, things like that. So that was great, and so and yeah, and so that also leads me to that next year in 2018 when I started chiropractic school. Um, at Sherman College of Chiropractic, we had like a business coaching class where we had an assignment to do called Community Connections, where we had to go out and engage with our community on not just chiropractic but health in general, where we would ask them questions of like, do you think the city of Spartanburg, South Carolina, is a healthy city as far as diet and lifestyle? And if not, what things can be done to help change that? And with that engagement, we had to, if they allowed us to get their email address and mailing address, so we could mail them thank you cards on letting us engage with them with this topic, and which could eventually lead to us keeping those connections for going into our clinic phase later on in the program. And so that was a pretty cool experience that led me to getting this guitar strap put on my spine model. And so around this same time, I was reading a book called Cast to Be Chiropractors, written by Liam Strubel and another chiropractor, where Liam Strubel talked about how when he was in chiropractic school, and he was trying to go out and get patients for his clinic requirements, and I think he said he read it somewhere as well about going door to door and putting a guitar strap on his spine model, and trying to get new patients that way. And that's what I did. Not to say that I actually went door to door with my spine and toe like this, but it was just that inspiration. And I was like, I gotta do that. And so I got the Jimi Hendrix like electric voodoo style design strap, because chiropractic is electric, right? The nervous system, right? And so I thought that was very fitting. And yeah, big fan of Jimi Hendrix, another JH. And so when I got it done at Guitar Center, because I was still trying to get some more community connections there as well, and I got them to put this strap on my spine model, and yeah, that's the story. And so yeah, that was a cool experience. And as far as outreach, and so yeah, I've been had a lot of outreach experience through my AmeriCorps experience, and through chiropractic school and all that. So that's the topic of this series. And before we go on, I just want to profile Dr. Zev and Dr. Jason. So yeah, and so like I said, this project is called Street Chiropractic, Adjusting the Unhoused, Dr. Zev versus Dr. Jason. And so we can start profiling, give you a little backstory on these docs. So Dr. Zev Melman has a practice in Davie, Florida, which is like 45 minutes north of Miami. His practice is called Dr. Zev Melman Family Chiropractic / Dr. Zev TV, as he's a huge YouTube content creator. He's been in practice for over 15 years, and he's been on YouTube for about 6 years. And his tagline is "Adjustments don't lie." And his backstory is patient to practitioner, where he had a breathing issue that led to him taking a bunch of medicines that led him to getting worse with bronchitis, skin issues, and a suppressed immune system. And so there he went to a chiropractor that took his x-rays and found out he had a 10-degree curve in his spine, where afterwards getting under chiropractic care, he had improved lung function and improved overall health. And that's what led him to become a chiropractor. And he's a pretty big deal. He's adjusted a lot of celebrities and athletes such as Shaq, Terrell Owens, Deontay Wilder, Phil Heath, Mr. Olympia, bodybuilder, DJ Khaled, and another one, Nicky Jam, Scott Storch, Ty Lopez. Yeah, he got some heavy hitters, and yeah, that's his backstory. And Dr. Jason Worrell has been practicing since 2005, and the name of his practice is Rejuve Wellness, Miami's exclusive corrective chiropractic wellness center. And he's been on YouTube for about 14 years, so he's like an triple OG content creator, and he has a lot of content too. And he recently moved back to Miami, which is his hometown, in like around 2023, all the way from the West Coast. So yeah, and Dr. Jason and Dr. Zev seem to have a similar adjusting style. I believe they both do full spine chiropractic, and Dr. Jason also does chiropractic biophysics, and also has a functional exercise and nutrition component, which I believe Dr. Zev does as well. And they both focus on wellness care, and so that's a little backstory of them. And yeah, hope you enjoy the series. And yeah, so before we go, I gotta talk about what I'm rocking, right? And so, I got the Timberland beanie on, all gold there, and I had to get some new ear gauges because the last ones I profiled on here, the black and gray ones, I lost them at Thanksgiving at my dad's. I went out with my sister, stepbrother, and their friend, and it fell out my ear, straight up. I was like chilling, vibing to the music, and all of a sudden it just fell out my ear, and I couldn't find it, just one of them. And yeah, I was walking around the spot, the lounge, looking for my ear gauge with a little flashlight on my phone and trying not to look crazy. Couldn't find it, so had to get some new ear gauges. And so the new ear gauge I got is a gemstone, earth stone, called Tiger's Eye, right? And it's a metamorphic rock that's has yellow and brown and golden brown color and a silky luster. You can see a little bit, maybe not. But yeah, it resembles the eye of a tiger. And you can find this rock in Australia, Burma, India, Namibia, South Africa, the United States, Brazil, Canada, China, Korea, and Spain. And let's see. bear with me. And so this is an energizing healing crystal for manifesting inner strength and willpower, amplifying our internal strength, which may lay dormant or repressed due to stress or trauma. It enhances overall confidence. It brings clarity to a chaotic mind and has excellent for developing self-discipline and working through challenging periods in life. So I try to stay balanced and grounded with earth stones, as I feel like because they're from the earth, they have a certain frequency that I feel like can help calm the nervous system, and so I prefer to wear the earth stones versus like metal or acrylic plastic in my ears. So yeah, that's the new stone I got, and you know I'm also rocking the Bob Marley dashiki here. You know, had to represent, and yeah, I'm a huge fan of Bob Marley, but I'm also a huge fan of his son, Damian Marley, which is highly underrated, criminally underrated as an artist. He's so underrated. Check out his discography. He goes from hip hop to reggae to dance hall. Does a lot of different type of music and kind of mixes it up into one. And his style, his tone reminds you of Bob Marley. And he's a great artist. One of my favorites. So check him out. And yeah. All right. So before we dive into the series, I just want to bring up some stats on unhoused. And so the housing and urban development 2023 report states that more than 650,000 people in America lack permanent shelter, and that's the most documented unhoused individuals since 2007. And it has increased by 12% since 2022. And so yeah, it's pretty rough out there, man. And another stat: 40 to 60% of people unhoused have a job, but housing is unaffordable because wages have not kept up with rising rent and inflation in general, right? And so an example would be, you know, a full-time minimum wage worker would need to work 86 hours a week to even afford a modest one-bedroom apartment on average in America. And so let that sink in, man. That's pretty rough. And so that's where we're at in this economy, unfortunately, and that's what's happening to a lot of people. And so yeah. That being said, we're gonna get into this series. So hope you enjoyed the intro. So check out part 1, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. All right, and one more bonus point before we move on. I just want to reference a movie that has to do with health care access in the underserved population, right? And so the movie Gridlock, starring Tupac Shakur, Tim Roth, and Tandy Newton, is so underrated. It is so underrated. So these three people are in a band together called 8 Mile Road in Detroit, Michigan, and they're trying to make it as a band of musicians, but they all have drug addictions. And when Tandy Newton's character overdoses on drugs on New Year's Day, Tupac's character and Tim Roth's character are trying to save her life by going to an ER where they can barely get her in the door, and they gotta fill out paperwork and this and that, and it just highlights the, you know, the healthcare system back in the 90s, right? And then on top of that, you know, them being drug addicts, and so after that, Tupac's character is scared and is afraid that he'll overdose and possibly die. So he wants to get clean and convinces Tim Roth's character to do the same, while they're praying that Tandy Newton's character survives the overdose. And so it shows them going through the process of trying to get into rehab, finding out that it's not that simple. Going through, you know, different trying to get in a drug rehab program through these different avenues, and they're not finding any luck, while trying to escape, you know, being drug addicted. It's a very relevant movie even to today, and it's called Gridlocked. So check it out. Great movie. Yeah. Peace.
Hi, how you doing today, beautiful?
Fine. May I help you?
Yeah, we'd like to apply for temporary Medicaid card, please.
Are you on welfare?
No.
You've got to be on welfare to get Medicaid.
No, see, the only reason we need Medicaid is so that we can get to a rehab program today, ma'am.
Sorry, but that's still going to take about 4 to 6 weeks.
We don't have 4 to 6 weeks, ma'am.
Next.
The problem is, it's got to go to Lansing and back. These things take time. Temporary Medicaid cards are issued only for medical necessities.
Why is everything such a fucking hassle with you guys, huh? I'm sitting here in need of help, and you're giving me bullshit about medical fucking necessities? It is a fucking necessity for me to get the fucking detox before I kill some motherfucking body! You understand what I'm fucking saying?
Yeah, I understand. Oh, I understand. Let me see if you understand this, my man. Rules are rules.
Oh, and another thing, there's a what do you call it? An iceberg, or a connection. I don't know. It's like the whole Interscope, Shady Aftermath universe. Tupac was signed to Death Row Records, which is part of Interscope Records. And, you know, in this movie, Gridlock, Tupac and his group were in a band called 8 Mile Road in Detroit. And what do you know? Coincidence, Eminem is from Detroit, from 8 Mile, and he's also part of Interscope Records later on with Dr. Dre, right? And so pretty interesting coincidence, right? I just wanted to throw in that connection there if you didn't realize it. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, right? You know, just happenstance, maybe not. But yeah, that's enough of conspiracy theories and whatnot. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. All right, see you. Peace.